So, listen, there is no getting around it.
Yes, there is.
The Twilight franchise, think what you want about it, say what you want about it, have whatever opinion about the franchise that you will. It was a monster damn hit. And it made shit tons of money. It made a lot of money. Lest we forget, let's go over to this. The first Twilight made $407 million, and it just kept going up. The second Twilight, New Moon, made 600. Remember, this is pre-2010 numbers. Twilight New Moon made $688 million. Twilight Eclipse made 709, and then it kept going up. Twilight Breaking Dawn made 712, and then the finale, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, made $829 million. It always makes me giggle when I hear people say, oh, nobody cares about Twilight. Math would suggest otherwise. Numbers suggest otherwise. This was a franchise that had a real hardcore fandom, a loyal fandom, a passionate fandom. And I still remember there's an episode of Parks and Rec where there was a guy who, Pawnee was going to be making a time capsule, and there was a guy who desperately wanted a copy of Twilight put in the time capsule of the thing. It was just, the whole episode was about it. It was freaking hilarious. This was a very popular, listen, I went to the premiere of a couple of these, and I have been to Star Wars world premieres, all right? I have pulled up, I remember me, Anne, Harloff, Ellis, we took a limo to one of the Star Wars premieres, right? And we pulled up to the VIP entrance line, and we got out, literally, Kathy Kennedy's limo was right in front of ours. Ooh. And Kathy Kennedy got out of her car right in front of ours. I think Harrison Ford's was behind ours. When we pulled up and got out, some people in the bleachers were there, and I guess they recognized these idiots, and they were like, Jedi Council, which was pretty cool. And that did not compare to the rabidness of the Twilight fans that were at the Twilight world premiere. That stuff was nuts. Like just nuts. Those people were passionate. Well, Lionsgate has been trying to find ways to recapture the gold and the magic from a couple of those YA franchises, Hunger Games and Twilight. Well, we got a new Hunger Games movie coming. Hunger Games, Snakes and Ladders or something. Yeah, I still can't remember the name of it. What is it?
Shoots and Ladders.
Shoots and Ladders. What? I can't remember what the name was.
A song of Songbirds and Snakes or something?
Ballads of Snakes.
A ballad of
Songbirds and
Snakes. Whatever.
Yeah.
So that, and it looks like they're jumping on the Twilight train again, because word has come out that Lionsgate is developing 11 years after the last Twilight movie came out. They are developing a TV series. This comes from the folks over at Screen Rant who said this: a Twilight TV show is officially in development from Lionsgate based on the best-selling book series by Stephenie Meyer. Is it Meyer or Meyer? I'll go with Meyer.
Meyer.
The Twilight Saga movie franchise began in 2008, introducing the world to Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, a.k.a. Batman, as the human Bella Swan and vampire Edward Cullen, two star-crossed lovers in Forks, Washington. Despite garnering generally negative reviews from the critics, the 5 Twilight movies were a massive commercial success that collectively grossed more than $3.4 billion worldwide. Now, look, the question then becomes, what are they going to do? There's 2 paths they can go with this Twilight series, and they're not saying yet what it's going to be. Path number 1, the path that Warner Brothers is taking with Harry Potter, which is, let's redo the original story. Let's get in a younger cast. Let's redo the story of the original books and retell the story of Twilight. That's a totally valid approach that they can take. The other approach they can take is the approach they seem to be taking with Hunger Games. Instead of going back and redoing Hunger Games, they're telling a new story from the Hunger Games thing, the story of songbirds and snakes, a ballad of songbirds and snakes. You know, they're telling a new story. A few years ago, the Lionsgate CEO did say something about, we still think there are many stories to tell in the world of Hunger Games and Twilight. So will this Twilight series be new stories in the world of Twilight? Will it pick up with the children of Bella and what's his name?
Edward?
Edward, of Bella and Edward.
Is it going to have Batman Boy in it?
Is it going to have Twilight Boy in it? Or do we find out? See, now I'd be interested in this. Do we find out it's like now 10 years later, the magic is worn off between Bella and Edward. And while Edward is doing his vampire things at his vampire day job, she's off getting some on the side with Jacob?
Oh, good job.
Hey!
Oh.
I want to see that. Yeah. I want to see that. Then
I hope she's like, maybe I shouldn't have committed to somebody when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Why?
And then maybe they did, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. They decide to experiment a little bit. They get wolves and everything involved. It's a grand menage a trois of supernatural proportions.
I'll have you right.
Brought to you by the creators of Riverdale.
Let's have you not write anything. So, I don't know. Chris, let me ask you. I mean, I get it. When you look at the numbers, this is a 3.4, not even counting the sale of the books. This is a $3.4 billion film franchise.
Yeah.
I get it. If you don't think this is a smart move, don't open your own business because this makes good business sense. Mm-hmm. I'm not interested in it, but I can see why they're doing it. What would be the better approach for them? The Harry Potter route with retelling the original story of the books? Or what they seem to be doing with Hunger Games, which is tell new stories in that world? What do you think the approach should be?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't see any of these actors being involved in this.
Oh, I can't.
Because,
I can't see any of them coming back.
You don't think Batman Boy wants in this?
Batman Boy does
what's Jacob's? What's
Taylor
that?
Lautner.
Yeah.
You know what? I've
be
always
interested.
liked that
He might
kid.
do it.
He'll
He
be
might
there.
do it.
I've always liked that kid, and I bet he would come back. For
he
it.
had a
he's
bit of a,
Somewhere doing backflips.
he had a bit of a failure to launch, and I do quite like him. Sure, girl and love a boy. Come on. But I mean, Robert Pattinson hates these movies so much. The commentary on these is hilarious of him just being so angry about it. I was late to the Twilight game. I didn't watch this, I don't think, until right before the pandemic or during it. And so I just got very drunk and watched these films and was terrified of that baby when it showed up. I would really like this show to be about Charlie Swan, Bella's dad, because what the hell?
Oh, I
He
loved
is
him.
treated like dog shit in this series.
Oh, yes, he is.
And everyone's just like, don't worry about your kid. And he's like, why has my daughter been in like Bora Bora or wherever for weeks on end? Like, what's happening? Why is she sick? And they're like, don't worry about it. She's fine. Why does my daughter have a newborn baby that's 5 years old? Don't worry about it, Charlie. It's fine.
It's all good.
It's fine. Don't worry. I mean, I think you have to go back to the original story probably and re-explore this, much like they're doing with Harry Potter. I think you also need to give Bella a little bit more agency this time around because so much of those movies and those books are her just being like, if I can't be with Edward, I'm going to try to kill myself.
Oh, it was so fucking annoying.
Yeah. It's just... It makes it for a difficult watch. And I understand that she is a teenager, but if she is going to commit to eternal life with somebody, maybe, just maybe, we give her a little more thought process behind some of these choices.
You don't want to just be like, for every scene she's in.
You bring in vampires.
skin
I don't know
cold
if
as
you can
ice.
do that anymore.
You-
Like vampires.
You're a naturally pale.
They're doing Blade. You
I know
can't say you can't-
I was about to say that's the only vampire I care about right now. It's Blade.
They will make you care about these vampires, Ray.
You know, the only interesting thing about these movies
Blade's gonna be in this one.
was the rivalry between wolves and vampires.
That
And the
was
soundtrack.
interesting. Yes.
But it didn't go. You know, it wasn't
Soundtrack
like
was banging.
it didn't play out the way it should have in
Yeah.
my head or on
You said that right.
or whatever.
That's the way it should have gone.
Yeah, it should have been more.
My
like-
head. You know what's funny?
Brutal.
We always give a lot of crap to Tom Hanks's Big. Because at the end of the day, that woman is a pedophile.
She didn't
because
know.
she had, I know she didn't know, but ignorance is no excuse to break the law. She ended up having sex with, how old was that kid in that
Josh
movie?
Baskins?
Yeah, how old was
He
Josh?
became a national hero
Right.
to all men. Nice. Like in South Park? Nice.
Nice. But Edward was what, 300 years
Something
old?
like that.
And he's banging an 18-year-old girl?
Not
Please
until
don't
they're
say it
married,
that
though.
way.
They don't consummate until the
Okay.
marriage. Yeah.
Okay, you
Until
know
they're
what?
on their
I take it
honeymoon.
back.
And then he breaks a bed, and a whole bunch of teenage girls were like, "What?"
The World According to Twilight. Let's write a book.
That's why I think it pays off to see this movie in your 30s because you go, "Oh, you're gonna have to pay the hotel so much money." That's damage fees. No.
What are we talking about?
I can't even remember.
I think they were
Shoots
jumping
and
on the bed
ladders.
or something.
Anyway, guys, The question is for you. What do you think about this? Look, as much as this is not for me, I get it. This was a $3.4 billion movie franchise that had a passionate fan base. And just because it didn't appeal to me does not delegitimize it. It appealed to a lot of people. So what approach should they take? Should they go redoing the original story? Should they add more? And here's a real question for you. Honestly, what could they do that would make you go, you know what? I'm not a Twilight person, but I'll give that show a shot.
Do you really think you're going to get a ton of comments
Make it Harry Potter? I don't know.
on this segment? Do you think people are going to answer this question?
I think people could say, you know what?
Let's put a poll up.
Let's put a poll. Could they do anything that would get you to watch it? I don't know. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, ExpressVPN. Guys, it is 2023, and online privacy and security has never been more important. You see, every device, phones, computers, tablets, has a unique IP address, which is like an internet phone number and reveals personal information about you. It's super simple for somebody online who knows what they're doing to find your IP address. If you've ever clicked on a sketchy link or opened an email from somebody you don't know, your IP address could become exposed. Now that's where ExpressVPN has your back. ExpressVPN is an app that hides your real IP address and replaces it with a dummy one, keeping you safe and private. And you don't have to be some kind of techie to use a VPN. Guys, it is so easy to use. Just download the ExpressVPN app on your phone or computer, tap one button to turn it on, and you're protected. And if you like your streaming entertainment, here's the coolest part. They let you choose what country you want your IP address to look like it's coming from. This is incredibly useful because services like Netflix and Disney Plus give you different shows depending on what country you're in. So secure your family's online activity and unlock tons of new shows by visiting expressvpn.com/Campea. Use my link and you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. Go to expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more.